Good morning and welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone. It's Monday the 4th of December 2017. I'm Darren Sinden and you can follow me on Twitter by using @ds_Pepperstone. Right, overnight changes and price moves we need to be aware of. A relatively quiet start and there wasn't too much action net last week. I will just flag a couple of points though. Euro dollar 118.6750 shortly before we went live with the video, down around 0.24% on a weekly basis. Sterling against the US dollar, or cable as it's known, 134.6150. Sterling hanging on to the majority of its gains, I think it's fair to say. So over a week it's up about 1.1%. Other movers of note, a bit of action in US dollar Brazilian real, a move there of 0.78%. And as is so often the case at the moment, it's Bitcoin, though, that's stealing the headlines. $11,444 per coin shortly before we went online. Up $194 this morning, a move of 17.79% over the week. Although, of course, that doesn't tell the whole story. Right, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the markets. A relatively modest calendar today, but one or two points of interest to be aware of. We've already had inflation data out of Australia this morning. Reads for November mixed, really. Slightly easier on the month-on-month data, a little bit better year over year. Australian corporate profits, though, have also taken a bit of a dent. We've had a speech from Bank of Japan's Governor Kuroda, that was earlier this morning, and Japanese consumer confidence index data as well. We'll look at that in a bit more detail in a moment. To come then at 8 o'clock, we will have 8 o'clock GMT, I should say. We will have Spanish unemployment, and then at 9:30, UK construction PMI for November. At 10 o'clock, perhaps the pick of the day, producer price index data out of the Eurozone for October. And then this afternoon, that's followed by the ISM Business Conditions Index for November. That's out at 14:45 this afternoon in the US, alongside factory orders data for October that comes out at 1500. Right, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye over the weekend. First of all then, iron ore and other commodities helped to push Australian listed miners higher. Commodities seem to be bouncing again today, and there's been some bullish comments from Rio Tinto, one of the larger Australian listed miners as well. Japanese consumer sentiment is at its highest levels for 4 years, so further positive economic data coming out of Japan. There does seem to be some momentum building there. Prime Minister Theresa May will lunch with Jean-Claude Juncker and Michel Barnier even, to try and push Brexit talks forward today. There'll be discussions about the Northern Ireland border and the rights of EU citizens post-Brexit. And US tax reforms are passed in the Senate in the USA and have moved one step closer to becoming law. They now enter a committee stage. Right, food for thought, something to take away with you into the trading day. Think about this, please. Global stock markets added a whopping $5.2 trillion in market cap last week, and the total value of all listed equities exceeded $98 trillion, or more than 125% of global GDP. The chart opposite shows us just how quickly these equity valuations have been rising. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but one might question whether the extensive recent gains on top of the decades worth of gains that we've seen are entirely justified. Right, risk warning time. Please take a moment to read the risk warning. Trading CFDs and foreign exchange on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about those risks, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative.